Good morning and welcome back to the Haven Financial Group radio show. Happy Father's Day. Thanks for listening. Feel free to give us a call at 612-504-8400 or visit us online at havenfinancialgroup.com. Kim, you know it's our 10th anniversary this year, and we're just finishing up our fourth construction add-on project at Haven, for the fourth in the last 10 years. So we're growing, expanding, and we're very blessed to help lots of people. And this segment is how to avoid some mistakes. And we all want to avoid as many mistakes as possible, correct?
Now, that's for sure. That is for sure. And sometimes we don't read that fine print, or maybe we don't understand the ramifications of the fine print. Today, Glenn Ramey is with us. He is an insurance specialist with Haven Financial, and he certainly understands that fine print. Let's talk about, Glenn, first off, what you think is maybe the number one mistake that people make when it comes to insurance.
Assuming they already know it. Right? Yeah. Assuming they already know the price, assuming they understand whether it fits within their situation. I can't count how many times I'll have a meeting with an individual or a couple and they have a question and they tell me what they know about that topic, and it's a very small fraction of the total wealth of knowledge that's revolved around that topic. As you said earlier, people get discouraged from long-term care planning because they're here. The price is really high. Mm-hmm. It's very expensive to plan for it. I can tell you, I've seen policies start at $50 a month, right? Now, I've seen also policies be $1,000 a month. Are the benefits the same between those policies? Absolutely not. But the benefit you might get out of that insurance might very well justify the expense to you, right? Sure. So not understanding the cost, not understanding how it works, not understanding all the options is the biggest mistake people think, because they assume they already know it and are already ruling that out when actually they don't know.
I have to assume another one of the big mistakes, and we talked about this earlier, is just not recognizing how costly health insurance in retirement can be.
Absolutely. We see it every day. We see individuals that say that we're going to be fine and they're not, right? They say that we got this handled and we don't. They underestimate the cost of care significantly because they think of it through a smaller lens than the bigger picture. They look at the premium. And that's all they think about their healthcare, right? My Medicare is this much per month. That's not the only cost you have, right? You have your out of pocket on your Medicare policy. You have your prescription drug out of pocket, two separate amounts where you might be incurring an additional $2,000 to I'd say $5,000 more per year in cost because you're undergoing a major health event. And that might be a one-time thing, or it might be a chronic issue where now I'm dealing with this cost every year for the rest of my life. Was that incorporated into our income planning when we discussed how much we would need per month to cover our healthcare cost?
Absolutely. I think overlooking long-term care, I think, again, we talk about this each time we talk about long-term care insurance. Everybody assumes it's expensive and I'm just going to go stay with the kids.
Right. And I say the biggest disservice is not going out and gathering the information, right? Not speaking to someone to actually understand whether or not that is a true statement or not, or whether there is reasons and options that will fit within someone's retirement planning, but they don't know about it because they're not having the conversation, not pursuing the help of individuals that dedicate their lives to this topic, right? That make this their day job.
Mm-hmm. And Larry likes to say, your kids love you and you love your kids, but they may not be ready for you when you need to go and live in their house. And I think we can all understand that for sure.
And remember that you're asking your son or daughter in that circumstance to step away from their kids and their husbands and wives, right? And the impact that's going to have on their relationships with their family.
Mm-hmm. Larry, you hit on this earlier, not reviewing insurance policies that you've had for a long period of time.
Oh, we see it all the time. I've had a life insurance policy. I haven't looked at it in 15 years or 20 years. Get a life insurance review. Again, if what you're doing, if it's good, what's better than confirmation and affirmation that you're doing what you should be doing and there'll be no negative surprises? That is one I see all the time. We talked about annuities, getting sold a bill of goods and having a misunderstanding of which one of the four, if you have. I asked that question. And they go, we have an annuity. Which one of the four? Well, we're not exactly sure. And oftentimes they have one of the four that they probably wish they didn't have.
Right.
So there's a misunderstanding. And I would add something that's, maybe people aren't thinking of, but you and I talk about it. whether it's long-term care insurance, life insurance, annuities, wealth management. People are oftentimes are paying way too much for what they're getting in value.
Right.
They might be paying 2 to 3% for a management fee all in on their brokerage account. Okay, you can pay more if you want to, but most people don't know what they're paying. Do you know your variable annuity has 3 to 5% in fees? Well, I didn't know that. Of course you wouldn't. Otherwise, you would have never bought it. So understanding that some of these life insurance and long-term care reviews that Glenn does, when we see what companies they are, we know there's going to be an enlightening. We know that there's going to be, oh my goodness, I didn't know I was paying this much. I didn't know this was going to be the result. I thought it was going to be differently. And you want to find these things out proactively, not just waiting till everything festers and then go, oh my goodness, I didn't know this was going to happen.
Absolutely. You know, another one that sort of goes hand in glove with this idea of reviewing your policies, it's making sure that your beneficiaries are up to date. It seems pretty simplistic, but it's funny how quickly that maybe can get away from you because life changes.
I just 2 new clients this week that were in our office that we're privileged to help. One of them had no beneficiaries, none. The others had one person, the beneficiary was deceased. And these seem so elementary, yet we see it all the time. You know, if you have outdated beneficiaries, that's going to be a potential real problems for disputes, unintended payouts, just headaches. Maybe not for you, but for many others of your loved ones, which you don't want. So it seems so elementary, but we see it all the time. Make sure your beneficiaries are current, updated. I can give you all kinds of funny stories about people that I've seen over the years, but you know, for the sake of time, we'll leave it alone. But don't be one of those, please.
Yeah, it could be a real surprise for people when the ex-wife or the ex-husband suddenly is the beneficiary on somebody's policy, right?
For sure. So, you know, we talked a lot about insurance. If there's any confusion, let's help you get rid of this confusion. Give us a call. Come on in. Talk through these questions you have. And I always say our job description is really to answer questions. So, retirement has a bunch of puzzle pieces. Okay. Do you have all the puzzle pieces to the retirement puzzle? Are you missing some? Are you working with a partner that's spending time with you, or do you get 45 minutes to an hour once a year? I can tell you that's what a lot of people are getting. What are you paying? You say you don't know? I think you should know. Are they coordinating the estate planning with the taxes and the tax planning and the investments and the wealth management and the insurance, long-term care and life, Medicare, and the list, the retirement puzzle pieces goes on. And you don't have to have them under the same roof. It was the goal when I started the company 10 years ago. And thankfully, we have multiple personalities in all these areas, like-minded, that are willing to spend the time and educate. And yes, do we help a lot of people? Yes, we're very fortunate. So I encourage, come on and visit with, again, give us a call at 612-504-8400 or havenfinancialgroup.com, Kim.
Well, Larry, you've said it very well. You know, the idea that everyone is under one roof. I think that one-stop shopping is a good thing when it comes to trying to put together a retirement plan that works and puts all those puzzle pieces together. Glenn Ramey has been our guest. He is an insurance specialist, and we've been talking about all different facets of insurance and how it can enhance your retirement. Before we go today, Glenn, some final thoughts from you about this, what you hope people walk away from this show with.
Yeah. So the 2 things I'd say that I think are most important that you should be walking away with is understanding that we don't know everything and that we should reach out to professionals that know these things for us so we can better understand the things that we have. And then the importance of reviews, whether that be reviewing your annuities, reviewing your life insurance, reviewing your Medicare insurance at the end of the year, right? These are all opportunities for people to make sure that they're in good positions for their plans and their goals and to catch problems before they happen and find savings where they're at. And when we get complacent, that's when we miss these opportunities.
Sure. Ever changing, isn't it? It's a world of ever changing deadlines and numbers. And so that too is a reason to come and see you guys, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't want to keep up with all those dates, Larry. I want somebody else to keep up with them for me.
Let somebody do the work for you. It oftentimes doesn't cost you more. It often costs you more not to have somebody partner And when you see that, you don't have to pay more. You should be getting more.
Yeah.
My takeaway is thanks for listening today. Feel free to give us a call at 612-504-8400 or havenfinancialgroup.com. Happy Father's Day to all the listeners. Happy Father's Day, Glenn. And I am a happy father because I have all 4 daughters home
Good
for
for
this
you.
Father's Day. So I am a
Fantastic.
proud dad this Father's Day. And happy Father's Day to my dad, Wendell, as well.
Fantastic.
Thanks so much, Kim.
Thanks to you guys, and have a great rest of your weekend.